all the high performance guys act the same way, think the same way, talk the same way off camera, talk the same way, pull the trigger the same way, whether they're from Canada, Britain, Bulgaria, Russia, doesn't make any difference. And that's the common theme. That's real life. And anybody that had more than a 40 IQ knew they wouldn't, as they say here in Scotland, loan the money out. And to this day, they're still not loaning the money out for the small loan, the SMEs that they're called, small, medium enterprises. When will it change? I don't know. Will it change? Yeah, someday. But everything in economic cycles it's like stretching a rubber band. When you pull a rubber band and you overextend it, then it comes back just as hard, if not harder, coming back the other way. So I don't know what'll happen. Any takeaways from the movie? Yes. Like I said yesterday afternoon, the most contagious thing is not positive, negative, and that's what mob mentality works. That's correct. And you saw how hard some of the CEOs, like the Lehman guy, fought to go open, should. Whether he did it for the shareholders or not, that's a whole other subject. And how the government forced banks to take money. Wells Fargo didn't want to take any money. Shape. But now it's interesting to note, during the Depression, from 1928-ish to 1940-ish, to the war started, 41, Canada had no failed banks, zero. During the debacle from 2008 to, you name it, 2010, 11, whatever you want to call, Canada had no bank failures, zero. Zero. How is that possible? In the Depression, and again, what they call, since the Depression, the greatest finance planet has ever known. Canadian banking, they're smarter than we are, or they're very conservative. They are very Canadian bankers and the Canadian guys that have been here like smarter. But when you think about that, that's remarkable. It transcends being remarkable. And the NESQLA works in Canada. And the reason I said that, there's a couple of people, in fact, one or two you may even think this, wrongly. QLA is not just for roll-up. 2/3 of the people that use QLA can't spell roll-up. They don't use it. They use it to enhance their current business base. They use it to enhance their position in corporate world, wherever they are. Do roll-up. Thought process, the accountability, the focus are good no matter what. And that's why I've said athletes have used, women have used it to lose weight. You read, what's the takeaway in the first article? You can take them in any order. Yeah, okay. What did my boy Elon have to say?
I took away what we regret is not failure, but
failure to pull the trigger, which is the resounding theme that I repeat over and over and over, and what most of you in this room haven't done. One, you haven't done it, partially because nobody's ever told you. Sticking your neck out of the turtle. Remember, the turtle can't move forward unless his neck out of the shell. Okay, that's the bottom line for the money. And there's a constant theme, and again, success leaves clues. Constant theme with all these, here would say, are these big hitters. Okay, the second article, George. Oh yeah, Simon's journey. What a takeaway. Now, this is the guy who was already successful, Australian, who came here and has used it, not remarkably, he just used a step. He is telling you what his journey was. I don't like the journey part, but life shouldn't be a journey. It doesn't have to. And the mistakes he made and the things that worked for him and the things that, because he was educated and because he was successful, he discounted. Then he did. He's the guy that we use the slide where he was thinking while he was sitting in the Ritz-Carlton in Singapore. Dan said, let me try it. So he called 2 hours later, and bang. Again, we're using the big law for big because they have easy act, not easy, but easier act. And the third article, or the third thing I gave you, he's a brother. He's a black dude in healthcare, and he's gone out. That's the one that's like Deja Bank. Verbatim said what I said. And smart. It's just, well, that's not the reason that I know that, because it's happened countless times from people that are well-educated to the non-educated, to the ones that have no balls to the ones that have big balls, because the system is more or less a laydown. The laydown meaning it's easy. Any questions on anything that we've covered so far? Because now we're going to talk about there are no rules, but the valuation issues and some of the things that have come up, and do at least one more role play, and biggest, not problem, but hurdles you'll have when you get out there, most of which are in your mind. They're still hurdles, and you still think they're real, based on how the kid the last years overcome them. Any questions on any far? We'll discuss what happened last night when we're not on YouTube.
All tie in together? They don't all say the same exactly, but they all...
Well, all the articles I give you more or less tie in together, from the ones that are written by Elon Musk's ex-wife to stuff that Steve Jobs said, because there's one common theme. All the high-performance guys act the same way, think the same way, talk the same way off camera, talk the same way, pull the trigger the same way, whether they're from Canada, Britain, Bulgaria, Russia, doesn't make any difference. And that's the common common theme. How many of those guys are on the planet? Not many, not many. And the only differentiation is some keep a lower profile and some don't. Currently, Donald Trump is not keeping a low profile. And to answer the questions, I have no business relationship with Donald Trump. I never have had any business relationship. I know him from the 80s and 90s. I have no, people ask why I don't show case studies here in the clips. First of all, the clips aren't long enough to do case studies. Second of all, every single thing that is required to do a roll-up or use QLA in the corporate world or in your personal life is on my website, podcast, or when I used to write blogs and news. Forgot to mention, I have 100 plus newsletters. I stopped writing newsletters about 3 years ago when I started doing podcasts. But those 103 or 105 newsletters that date back to 1993 are gold. Many of the questions that are asked by the Ask the $1 Billion Man are or could be answered if they read the news. So when I tell people that we have hundreds of pages, and we have about 500 pages on my site, freak about 5. When I started giving away all my product a few years ago, the first question that came up, where do I start? So much. Fortunately, that's where it stopped with me. Where do I start? And they never got started. This works whether you're Poconos or you're from Mesa, Arizona. But one of the common themes also in what I've shared with you, being as candid as I know how to be, is that not everybody wants to be successful. Almost everybody not everybody even talks about it, but almost everybody talks about it. But not everybody wants it. And it's become vogue, and we're going through another cycle again to talk about it. And that's why there's so many pods, so many of these things now, and there's so many apps, because people know they're tapping into that market, the people that want to talk about it. If every program sold, and in my case given away, was only given away based on, and somehow it could be magically erased from your laptop, if you don't take action in 30 days, I guarantee you 99% of all the stuff that's out there would be erased in 30 days. In the close this afternoon, I say 21 days. The real thing is 21 hours. Study, and we stopped keeping track of about 5 or 7. If you don't take action in 21 hours, the odds are, and every day that goes past those 21 hours, the odds are, in the beginning, arithmetic, that you're not going to do anything. And after 21 days, they're geometric. You won't.